Because, honey, I did not pour myself a fresh glass to not drink it. No. These are dark times indeed. You need to have all the wine you can have. Hi guys, what's up? It's me, Audra. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm not sure how you got here, but certainly I'm glad you came. And if you are new here, well, you're in for a treat. All right, so today's video, I thought it would be fun, or I don't know, maybe take your mind off of a few things. If I talked about a subject very kind of dear to me, maybe not dear, but I don't know, I've talked about it a little bit in lives, and I thought it would be cool to just have like a video addressing this particular issue, and this issue is
I'm not getting married.
Not ever. I don't want to. Now, I know. Some of you who've been with me for a while are going to be like,
but Audra, you were married. Are you not getting married because your marriage failed?
no. Funnily enough, it's not because my marriage failed that, while that is true, that I'm not getting married, because it actually takes two people to make a marriage fail. It's not just one person. In most circumstances, there's obviously other things, but for the most part, in a somewhat healthy-ish relationship, it does take two people to make a relationship fall apart. But the fact that my marriage failed is not why I don't want to get married. I don't want to get married because, first and foremost, I never wanted to get married. It was actually not one of my things. It was not on my list of things to do for my life. It never was. Ooh, girl, I'm gonna have to my skin, I'm so oily, so shiny. Give me a second. But marriage was never on my agenda. I am a very creative, artistic person, and I had goals and dreams for that I feel like I let marriage get in the way of. And I shouldn't have gotten married, because when I was standing there in my wedding dress at my wedding, my first thought was kind of, I could run. But I didn't, and I stayed married, and while the marriage ended poorly, and the last few years were pretty much hot garbage, it didn't start poorly. But my disagreement with getting married and why I personally don't want to get married are, well, reasons that I find important to me. Number one, my autonomy. I like having my autonomy. It seems very much that when you get married, you seem to lose it. You become a we for everyone, and a we and a they and you guys. And sometimes actually most of the time, I just want to be me. I don't want to be part of this. I want this to be here and me to be here. Like, I don't understand why we have to become one homogenous being when we are clearly two separate people, and I don't enjoy that. And I felt like in marriage, that kept happening more often than I preferred. I really don't like it. I did not enjoy it. And to be perfectly honest, maybe I'm just too selfish for it. And that brings me to part two. I'm too selfish. I don't want to be beholden to another human being for any and everything that I want to do. So a big part of this for me was, sometimes, especially with my social anxiety, for those of you that are new, I have some pretty intense social anxiety. Going out into the world is extraordinarily stressful for me. It completely drains me, and as an empath, it is very, very, very emotionally taxing on me. I prefer to spend as much time as possible in my home on the weekends when I can, or by myself in solitude, because that is my recharge from the week of peopling, the week of,
Hey Jen, how you doing? How's your day going? Hope you had a good one. How's your kids? How's this?
like, that's very taxing for me. Although I am a gregarious person and I am out there and I like to say hello, I am also a person that needs to recharge from doing that. My ability to do that is directly related to my ability to just kind of lay down and relax during the weekend, which you don't get when you're married. When I was married, I was seen as lazy for wanting to just relax. And I didn't like that. And in general, when I'm dating somebody, they often remark on how often I like to spend time alone at home, laying around. I'm also not super communicative when we're not together. When we're not together, I'm by myself. When we're together, I'm with you. And that is why marriage is not a good fit for me, because I'm not a person who's going to tell you, like, you'll text me at work and be like, hey, can you grab such and such? and I'm not going to respond. I have other things to do. I'm not interested in responding to your text right away. And honestly, I don't want to. I'm at work right now. This is my time, not our time. I don't like answering to another person. I am the kind of person where if I want to do something off the cuff and I just feel like doing it, I'm going to do it. So things like randomly going to happy hour after work. I know, didn't I just say that I have social anxiety? Yes, but when I'm going for drinks, it's a little less stressful. I think it's probably the alcohol. It's the alcohol. But I like to just be able to go and do that. I don't like to have to call you or text you and be like, hey, I'm going to be home late because I'm going to do this thing. Like, I just want to do the thing. That's me. And because of my social anxiety, I have to be able to just go with the flow and do things when I want to do them, specifically because honestly, if I actually think about it too long, I won't do it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, never mind. And I put all this thought into it and I'm not doing it. And a really big one for me is I don't want to share living space. This is my space. This is your space. I know, did I kind of somewhat quote Dirty Dancing, a movie I don't like, but the story of the movie I do like? I did. But it rings true for me. This is my space. That's your space. Let's not share. In fact, after we do the deed, I'd like it very, very much if you just
Kind of immediately left.
call me after. Great. Why? Well, I'm a sense of smell person. I'm a very sensory related person. And I know people are in general, but I am highly sensory related. And by that, I mean smells, for instance, are very, very important to me. Touch, my sense of touch is very, very important to me. These are all things that are important to me. And my smell is extremely important to me. And I absolutely despise it when someone else makes my bed.
Smell like that.
I hate it. I hate it so much. It's so... Get out of my bed. So what happens for me is to sleep, I need some very specific things, and the smell is one of them, which is another reason why I don't even like to spend the night at someone else's house. I can't sleep. The smells are unfamiliar and not comforting. So it's very, very difficult for me. In fact, I knew this from a very, very young age. When I was probably about 7 or 8, I'm gonna say, I went to a sleepover, and I didn't go to sleepovers pretty much after that until I was a teenager, and even then I despised them and did not sleep well, and it continues into my adult life. The smell. It doesn't smell like my home, and therefore I cannot get comfortable, and therefore I cannot sleep. So when you are sleeping in my bed, you're ruining the smells that I'm used to by inserting your smell, and it's moss. Even if you're not wearing cologne, it just bothers me. I cannot get any rest. I can't sleep comfortably. Also, people fart. We fart. And at night is when we are generally our fartiest. We are relaxed. And now you're in my bed and I'm having to hold all these farts and get the whole belly full of gas and be extremely uncomfortable. And I don't want to do that either. But in all seriousness, sharing my living space is just too much for me. I don't like it. I want to do the dishes when I feel like doing the dishes. I want to clean up the living room when I feel like cleaning up the living room. I want to do the laundry when I feel like doing the laundry. Just because I washed and dried the clothes doesn't mean I want to put them away. And it doesn't mean I'm going to put them away in 3 days. It doesn't mean I'm going to put them away in a week. I may dig through that pile until it's almost empty and then finally put it up and it's all wrinkled. And who cares? Because it's my living space and I'm doing things the way I want to. And that is why I cannot share living space. I don't want to get married for that specific reason. Now, if I do happen to find the love of my life, which I highly doubt because I have too many loves in my life, but I highly doubt that I'm going to find the love of my life who would want to have a relationship with me, which I love T for this very reason, because she said the very thing that I have been saying for years to my mother. You can ask her, which is and my best friends. It's this: I would love to have a great relationship with you where we live next door to one another, not in each other's homes. That way we don't have to share space and I don't have to clean up I can't clean up the tub. I can't. Listen, if I'm going to clean the bathroom, it can only be my dirt, not shared dirt. Okay, that's done. And here's a really big thing for me. Love is just not enough for me anymore. It's just not. I'm going to say it. I'm going to be the person to say it. And I don't give a shit if everybody looks at me real fucked off for this. But love isn't enough for me anymore. Almost 40 years old. Love is cute. Love is grand. Love is great. But it's not enough. I have had my fill of building people up. I don't have time for it. In fact, after my marriage was ending, I had genuinely fallen in love with a very nice gentleman, and it was quite lovely. But I started to look around, and I realized that this was going to be yet another situation of building another human being up into the great ass man that they're meant to be, and we're probably going to break up, and I will have built them up for somebody else. I don't have time for it anymore. And I just don't have time to spend building another human being into greatness. And if you wonder why I'm looking down, it's because I'm also checking on a live that I'm watching from T. And I had recorded this video earlier. I hated it, and I'm re-recording while I have that vim and vinegar and also the wine. All right. But I'm not a person who love is enough. Like, the power of love is not enough for me anymore. You have to be bringing something to the table. Just like I have to bring something to the table, right? Like, you don't want dinner showing up and I didn't bring a damn thing, but you're hungry, right? And I'm hungry and I'm like, I'm going to eat anyway. My thing is this: love is great, but it's not enough for me anymore. You have to have your shit together. Not like completely together, obviously, because we can all see that I don't. But you have to have goals, you have to have dreams, and you have to be on your way to achieving them without me. You see what I'm saying? I'm no longer going to be Mother Teresa. I'm not going to be the one who helps you get to your goals. I'm not going to support you and do all this stuff and tell you that you're great and be the one right there cheering you on every step of the way. You know why? Because I don't have time. I have goals and dreams. I'm trying to get somewhere, and I've had to do it myself. I've never had one person that I dated support me, except for one. Let me take back that never. That's why you shouldn't say never. The one gentleman that I did fall for after everything, he did support me. However, I realized that I was going to end up having to support him far more than he would ever be able to support me, and that I just could not have. And I know that that sounds shitty, and I know that that sounds, I don't know,
Shallow.
but call me shallow, because these days I'm not willing to do that anymore. I don't want to live in the dirt. I don't want to do all this stuff down here anymore while we get up here. It's not that way for me anymore. I'm 40. I'm 40.
In April.
I'm 40. I don't have time to build you up. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't. I need a lot more than love. I need a partnership. I need for us to be going like this, in the same direction, together, doing well. Not like that. Okay. And as I basically have been alluding to this entire time, I enjoy my independence. I enjoy my independence. I do. I love my independence. And I'm really not willing to give it up. I worked really hard for this independence. I worked my fucking ass off for this independence. I pushed hard to get here. Because one thing I have realized about me in relationships and my marriage is that I'm a giver. I am a giver. I am a person who gives all of my support. I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to give you love. I'm going to give you care. But you know what happens is I generally don't get that back. I don't get my cup refilled. And on top of that, because I'm always giving, I lose myself. And I lose everything that I wanted and all my goals and all my dreams and everything. I lose all of it every time I'm in a relationship. I know this about myself, and therefore I choose to no longer engage. I want to have good times. I want to have some fun, nice conversation. We can hang, man. We can totally hang. But we're not going to get married, and we're not going to have a relationship. It's really important that anybody I see understand that. And everybody says that they do. And in fact, I thought that that would make everybody that I was dating so much happier, right? For once, they'd get to date somebody who wasn't trying to settle down with them immediately. Fun fact, it became the opposite. So what happened is I essentially became the very thing that everybody claims that they want, especially men, and yet here they are. Hey, how y'all doing out there? Yeah, they're all there suddenly wanting relationships that they didn't want before and that they said and claimed they were totally cool with just like chilling and hanging out. And then it's like the moment that I was like, yeah, and also, by the way, I don't want to do those things either, so this is going to be great. This is going to be great for us. And then it's like, but I want a relationship with you. And I'm like,
We're breaking up.
Kids. Let's talk about children. First and foremost, I don't want to have kids. I have never wanted to have kids. And I don't know when this video is going to go up, but you're going to hear more about my childlessness here shortly in my tattoo journey. So, but I don't want children. I don't want them. And the thing is, at my age, I have a couple of things going on. One, when I am dating somebody who claims they don't want to have kids, and yet they've changed their minds. With me, they want to have children. Sweetie, my uterus, womb, closed, broken. No, thank you. So that has a thing. And then they want to be like, well, we could adopt. And I'm like,
did you not hear me?
on top of that, I'm still finding people, like I said, who are my age who still want to have kids. And I'm like, bro, sister, people, listen to me. We're gonna be 60 by the time they graduate college. I'm not down for that shit, okay? Okay. I had a very lovely person that I was in cheerleading with in high school, and we all thought that, well, maybe I was the only one who thought that, but I thought that her mother was her grandmother. It was not her grandmother, it was her mother. And I just don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that mom. I'm not about that. But on top of that, even when I'm dating somebody, I have to realize that a lot of people my age already have children, and I've realized I'm uninterested in being a stepmom. Done. I don't want to be a stepmom. I'd like to say that I would be able to do these things, but I really don't want children. I don't want them at all. Like, not only do I not want to give birth to a child, I don't even want to take care of a child. I don't even want to do that. I don't want to. I don't want to. And so I am stuck with a very interesting dating pool of people who have kids and don't want to have a relationship, but then they change their minds. And then I'm like, didn't I tell you about that thing where I don't want to be a stepmom? So there's all of that rolled into me not wanting to get married or really even have a very serious relationship. Certainly I don't want to compromise, as you can definitely tell from me talking about this. I am a Taurus, okay? In case you hadn't figured that out. But I am an unusual Taurus in that I am an only child Taurus, which means not only do I not want to compromise, I'm not going to. I'm stubborn and I'm not going to do it. I don't want to. Little things. You know how I said I don't want to share my space? Little things like your toothbrush being in my bathroom, it's going to piss me off. It is. I'm going to get annoyed. You leaving things in my home, also going to piss me off. I find it very irritating with anyone I've dated when they do that. I'm like, you left your shit in my house. Should I burn it? Okay, sorry. That sounds crazy, but that's really how I feel.
Should I burn it?
I'm going to burn it. In short, I don't want to get married because essentially someone would really, really have to make me want to spend time doing things other than YouTube, my job, Beau Bear, and my recharge sessions. You'd really have to make me want to do something other than that. That's what you're competing with. You're competing with a lot of alone time. You're competing with somebody who's very independent. You're competing with someone who knows really who the fuck they are. And I'm not willing to change that anymore. I'm no longer willing to like bring myself down or do this or do that to make somebody else happy. I am who the fuck I am, and I don't plan on changing that. And now, I'm sorry, you showed up a little too late, you know? 20s Audra was silly and stupid and would just bend over backwards to make you happy. But Audra in her 40s is like,
This is what you're gonna get.
this. This ain't even my hair. These aren't my eyebrows. These are my lips, though. Come get a boo. But seriously, marriage isn't for everyone. And I wanted to talk about this, if I take a serious side to it, is that I feel like a lot of women feel very, very pressured to have to want this thing. And you don't have to. I don't ever want to plan a wedding. And honestly, if somebody were crazy enough to actually want all of these things the way that I've outlined them, which, you guys, that would be balls. Like, that would be insane if somebody wanted that. But if somebody was actually crazy enough to want all of those things, they'd probably have to be wealthy, because my ass ain't planning a wedding. I need a wedding planner. I'm not doing it. I don't like planning weddings, especially my own. I don't want to. No, thank you. I'm good. Just wear some clothes. Let's do this thing. I know you could go to the courthouse, but I'm not going to the courthouse because I'm a fancy bitch, and those are things that I want. I'm sorry. You can't have, I know, it doesn't make sense. Why?
Taurus with a Gemini.
Moving on. But yeah, in all seriousness, I think women are very, very much conditioned into feeling like marriage is something that they have to do, and I'm not into it. And also, I have a very, very, I don't know, radical view that in their heteronormative relationship between a man and a woman, that men suck the life out of women. They suck the very core out of us. They suck everything out of us until we have nothing left, and then they leave us a broken shell of who we once were. And then we rebuild, and we become strong-ass bitches who don't want to get married. All right, guys, so that is my video for today. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this. I know I got a little nuts, but I'm trying to keep you guys kind of entertained, having a good time, because I know a lot of you are stuck inside. I am not, however, but until next time, I love each and every one of you. If you have not subscribed, now is a great time to do so, because I'm only going to get crazier. And if you would, thumbs up this video on your way out, or shit, thumbs it down if you hate it. If you hate me, if you think I'm terrible, please don't tell me. Just leave and don't tell me anything. All right, guys, I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And until next time, deuces! Bitch, it's hotter than fuck. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, yeah, get it, get it, get it, get it, I'm a good dancer, not Abby Williamson. That was a really weird thing that I did, and I really feel like the wine has taken control. We're done now.